Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 now today. Got some more summoning for you guys. This time around, we're going to be going for Lady of the Scales, and fortunately, we've been handed out some temporary mystic medals that you can use to hopefully aid you in your summons. Now, unfortunately for me, or fortunately, this is a 5-star. Oh, thank goodness it's an artifact. It's not a the unit. I believe it's Kane on Raid Up, is it? Oh yeah, it is. I actually do not own a single copy of Kane. However, I want to keep it that way with this summoning session. So we did manage to pull the artifact, which is nice. Touch of Rekos is pretty cool, right? But yeah, Lady of the Scales is the current Raid Up unit, and I hope that I can pull her because I don't have enough for pity, right? I don't have enough for pity, and unfortunately, last time we tried to summon for Witch of the Mirror Tenebria, we also didn't manage to get her either. So I'm really hoping that Lady Luck, or the Lady of the Scales, tips the scale in my favor this time around. And it would be really nice to get a new ML5 to be able to play with, especially because, you know, missing out on Witch of the Mirror Tenebria from last time really hurts. She's a fantastic unit, really fun to play with. And I've been having to fight her quite a bit in RTA, and that kind of sucks, right? We tried to go for Bystander Huayang as well back on her original banner, and look where we are now. She's one of the best units in the entire game, one of the strongest units out there, and I don't have her. So I really don't want to miss out on Lady of the Scales. But for right now, we're just going to need to pray. Otherwise, we're just going to have to dip back into the secret shop and see what awaits us over there. But yeah, currently Lady of the Scales seems like she's really strong. I'm hearing a lot of people like kind of complaining that she really has no counters. There's not many units that ignore damage share, and the units that do are typically not really meta in any way, shape, or form. I would love to see some of those units get buffed, so that would be kind of nice. Although we do have units like Specialty Change Jenna and even like Leafy who are... Oh! But that's only a 4-star though. That's cool. That's cool. It's good to see that we got a little purple action in there. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, it would be really cool to see if, like, Leafy get like a small little boost, like a little buff. I know they gave Yolha an EE, which is essentially a little soft buff there, and she has been really popular for fighting Lady of the Scales. Yolha's S3 also ignores damage share, which is fantastic to have, right? So not only does Lady of the Scales work well with her, the Yolha actually is technically pretty good into Lady of the Scales too. So not too shabby. And a lot of people apparently in RTA are stealing the Yolha pick from the opponent to ensure that they can't be used against them, right? So yeah, it's funny to see how a small EE can make a big difference, right? Even for a unit like Yolha, who hasn't seen play in a very, very long time. She was used, I think the last time she was used was reflect damage against units that kind of had this like Tempest Surin effect on them. Units who are like, oh, can't take more than half their HP as damage, right? So Tempest Surin herself, she was used against her, but even being used into things like Spirit Eye Celine and stuff like that, it was pretty effective in some cases. If you paired Yolha with Abigail, it was actually a great way to get Straze to essentially like delete himself, right? It's just fun little shenanigans like that that you could pull off. Alright, this another batch of 4-stars here. Unfortunate, guys. This is not good. This is not good. Okay, we're gonna do a little skipperoo. We're gonna move things along here. I really want to see the purple sparks. Yeah, that would be amazing, because missing out on another ML5 would be a disaster. I will go back to Secret Shop if I need to, and you guys will see it in this video if we get to that point. But, oh, don't tell me it's all 3-stars here. We'll skip, and no, at least we get a 4-star artifact. That's pretty cool. I'll take that. Steadfast Gatekeeper. Oh, 2 4-stars. Very nice. Zerato, right? No, Dominial. Right, very cool. Let's do another temple, I guess. We only have, well, this is our last temple, I think. After this, we have to dip into single poles. Come on now, our luck can't be this bad, right? Oh, or can it be? Uh-oh, hang on. So we need to go back to single poles here. Don't even have enough for another 10 pull. We got 9 summons. And we really need to make sure that we get her. If we don't, it's going to be honestly a travesty. It's going to be super sad. But then again, if I don't get her, you probably won't see this video. Just like you never saw the footage of me summoning for Witch of the Mirror Tenebria. So that's going to be footage lost to time. Oh, okay. I did not expect another 5-star. Another Touch of Rekos. Okay, not bad. It's a really good artifact, and I'm glad I'm getting more copies of it. But at the same time, a little bit of a purple spark would be cool, and we are definitely not purchasing Mystic Packs, so we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we are back here, and because it has been several days since the last time I've actually tried to summon, well, we managed to refresh the secret shop and get a bunch of bookmarks here. And I actually do have some more temporary bookmarks that I got from the event as well. So thankfully, managed to snag some more summons here. I think I have enough for pity at this point, right? And really hoping, because I swear if I miss out on Lady of the Scales, I'm gonna be so upset. Having missed out on the Witch of the Mirror Tenebria was already a huge blow, right? Alright, but this time, feeling good about it. And we're gonna go single summons, because at this point, Smallgate's trying to screw me over with Mystic summons over and over again, and if I don't preserve as many Mystics as possible, I feel like I'm gonna get screwed over on the next Mystic banner as well. So we're gonna do our best to preserve our summons here, going one by one. We have 38 summons until we hit that pity, and honestly at this point, I just want to see a purple spark. I want it to happen, right? Actually, wait, who's the... Oh, Kitty Clarissa. I think we did pull Kitty Clarissa a couple days ago when we were trying to do our initial pulls, right? So any purple will be fun. It'd be kind of nice. But at this point, the purple spark is the main thing. I did fight Lady of the Scales in RTA, and by now you probably have seen that RTA video. If you haven't, go check it out. It was a really tricky drafts every single time to try to maneuver around her, right? To make sure that we had enough units that just ignore damage share, but at the same time you had the correct counter picks into all of your opponent's other shenanigans. I did not expect to have to fight a Crimson Armin with her new EE for a total of 25% damage mitigation with Lady of the Scales, and I also did not expect to have to fight an Ahmed Cleave either. Oh boy. Here we go, here's a spark. It's at least an artifact, so we get a Touch of Rekos once again. Oh my god, is this gonna be a second Max Limit Break Touch of Rekos very soon? I think I need like maybe 2 more copies before I do. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, Lady of the Scales, guys, having fought against her now, having so much more insight into what she can do, I would be extremely disappointed if we don't end up pulling her. She is disgusting. I fought against someone who used like a Tori with her, and the Tori, my god guys, she takes like legitimately, she doesn't even need her passive anymore, she takes legitimately like 0 damage. It's crazy, and the fact that you can't strip barriers from her either, it's just ridiculous. And another Touch of Rekos, look at that guys. Okay, we're being a little blessed here, I like it. That means, I think again, we're like 1, maybe 2 copies away from getting another second Max Limit Break, which I'm not complaining about. I think you can stack 2 Touch of Rekoses on the same team and just get a huge chunk of healing. So that might be pretty cool. Maybe we'll try that out with some double Soul Weaver action in the future. Oh, here we go guys. It's a purple, but it's no spark. It's a Kitty Clarissa here. It's a warrior. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Kitty Clarissa blessing us once again. Come on, let's not have to hit pity, but Smallgate being Smallgate, you know? Oh, another Touch of Rekos! Guys, is that 4 in just this, like, second day of summoning here? That's crazy. Okay, maybe Smallgate really just wants us to play with some Soul Weavers, just not Lady of the Scales in particular. But yeah, me having missed out on Bystander Hua Young still bites me to this very day, because she is like the best ML5 in the game, in my opinion, at this moment. She's just good into, like, every team comp. Good into Witch of the Mirror Tenebria. Good into Lady of the Scales with ignoring damage share and all that stuff, and mitigation, right? Such a good unit. Anyway, we're gonna just one-tap Lady of the Scales right now, so... Oh my god! Whoa! First try! Look at that. So, yeah, this is great. Look at that. Beautiful Light Meru giving us Eternal Abundance. And that is it. So, we had to hit pity. Hopefully, you guys didn't have to hit pity for her. But the wait is now over, for me at least. It is time to gear her up and then take her out to Arena to do some testing. Alright guys, so this is my Lady of the Scales build before we jump into the actual, well, arena showcases with some potential team comps that we can make with her. I brought up my Lady of the Scales to plus 14. There's no reason to get the extra damage, in my opinion, on the extra S1. She's not really a huge damage dealer, but if you have the Molus to spare, feel free to go ahead and max her out. Everything else is kind of mandatory though for the extra chances and the extra combat readiness gains. Now, this is the current build. I'm running her on almost 275 speed. I'm currently using Soul Constellation as her artifact, which increases her effect resistance by an additional 30%, and we get the extra combat readiness whenever someone uses a non-attack skill, allows her to cut the opponent, and then we can get the full team cleanse along with the CR push. Okay, these are the gears that I'm currently running on her. Honestly, not like the greatest things ever. I know the ring is like pretty good, but everything else is pretty average, right? Pretty solid stuff all around. But bringing her effect res up to about 250 is the sweet spot. It's kind of where I like it. You still might get debuffed by some like super dedicated high effectiveness units, but other than like effectiveness Zeos and maybe Silverblade Araminta and Wrecker and Rowana, you're not really worrying too much about her getting debuffed, right? Her bulk seems a little bit on the lower side, but keep in mind that with the 70% damage share that you're going to have for the frontline unit, she is going to be rather tanky. And yeah, with the artifact, she's going to be over 250 effect resistance, kind of like how I want my DJB. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and check her out in some arena showcases. Let's jump straight to the action. So let's go ahead and jump into our first fight over here. For this one, I'm actually going to be using the classic duo that's been floating around for a few months, right? We're going to have Araz here along with Tori, built Araz as kind of a really bulky tank, and I actually just threw Holy Sacrifice on him just in case he ends up dying, right, in this fight. He is on an HP percent boot, but because the speed's set, he actually has a little bit of speed. Hopefully he doesn't turn cycle out of the immortality though. Tori, on the other hand, is going to be here. She is going to be very, very strong, especially with this mitigation that you're essentially getting with Raz, right? Taking 70% of all the damage is going to be absolutely crazy. And of course, we're going to bring in Archdemon Shadow as well. I have her on the Magic Bubble Maker for some extra effectiveness because the Bellion's there. No reason for me to bring in Book into this type of fight. But yeah, hopefully we can seal the opponent's Abigail or Mort or Spirit Eye Selena or anybody really, and take care of them. But let's go ahead and jump into this and see what we can do. Lady of the Scales is going to be very, very strong, and we're actually going to be going first. Ooh, I actually don't know what I want to do now. If I want to S3, there's not really too many debuffs on the other side. I mean, there's more, I guess, but might as well just push up the team, right, and just try to finish off the Mort. So let's go for that. Archdemon, when she S1s, will be able to dual attack with the Tori, and I think that'll be really, really nice here, especially with the Abundance. There we go, got the Seal, which means we're going to be hitting for quite a bit of damage. The Elder's Ritual Sword are rocking on the opponent's side, but Mort wait a minute. Oh, wait, we sealed Mort, so... He actually can counter now, which is funny. Alright, let's go for the S3. This will turn cycle us out of the Abundance buff, but honestly, it's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and do this. The unfortunate thing is if we try to finish off the Mort here, the Spirit Eye Selene will just revive with the S3, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off the opponent's Abigail. Raz taking so much damage there, but you know what, at this point, we could go for either an S2 and try to finish off someone else again, or, actually, you know what, Just go for the Spirit Eye Celine, why not? We should be able to finish her off here. There we go, yeah, easy peasy. So there's not going to be any reviving. Bellion, though, doing a ton of damage to us. But look at this, Roz is essentially the only unit here taking any form of damage. Right? Everyone else is just hardly getting hurt. We will get hit by the Mort here, unfortunately. However, again, it doesn't really matter. The Tori has the immunity there, right? So there we go, let's go for an S1. Mort is sealed, so we could technically fear him. Did not manage to land it, but that's alright. We'll soul burn this, we have the Cascade buff. And we might as well go into the Bellion, because it's more worth it to get more damage squeezed out here. There we go, very nice. That extra damage as well from the Cascade. Finishing her off. Let's see if we can actually hit a fear. There you go, Mort actually getting feared with his own debuff. And then we can have Roz come in with an S3. The good thing about Roz here is that he can actually heal up quite a decent, look at that, quite a decent chunk of health. Almost 8,000 health getting healed up there, even while he's soaking up all the damage for everyone else, right? So let's go for this. There is no fear, alright. And we were 2-turn feared there, but that's all good. Finish off the Mort the second time, and just look how safe these types of teams are. It's actually kind of crazy. So next up, we're going to try to pair Lady of the Scales with Immortality units to see if we can get any mileage out of that. So you guys know this must be done. We're going to bring in Lady of the Scales with Elvira. Elvira is the unit with some of the longest immortalities in the game here. She can actually grant immortality to herself for 3 turns, I believe. Yep, there you go, right with her S3. Immortality for 3 turns. It's kind of crazy. When she has this immortality up, though, you will actually be able to, well, first of all, she decreases fighting spirit gain by 100%, but when you have this immortality, you're able to activate your extra attacks and put a bunch of debuffs on your opponent, which is kind of nice. We will try to beguile our opponents and stuff here. The Fighting Spirit will shut down this Abyssal Euphine, essentially making it so that she can't really do anything in terms of getting her trauma buff. However, Abyssal Euphine on the other side is going to hamper Lady of the Scales' combat readiness gains. Normally, she gains half the combat readiness of whatever your opponent gains. With Abyssal Euphine there, you gain a quarter of it, right? So it's going to hamper us a little. We'll still see how it goes, though. The Lone Wolf Para is going to be pushing up. Afternoon Soak Flan will be pushing up and everything. And with the damage mitigation, I kind of want to see what happens if we bring in some squishy units. I'm going to bring in Eligos, for example. Eligos can be a fantastic unit here. Relatively squishy to test out our 70% damage share with the Elvira. And on top of that, we're going to bring in our Afternoon Soak Flan, just because she's a really good unit to combo with Eligos. When he S1, she'll dual attack, and if she finishes someone off, Eligos can come in and kind of finish off another unit, right? You kind of snowball that advantage. But Eligos also fantastic into the opponent's Afternoon Soak Flan. We'll just see how this ends up playing out. So look at how Lady of the Scales will jump up in combat readiness. Pay attention to the bottom left corner of the screen. Right, she's jumping up here. Look at that, beautiful. And the Afternoon Soak Flan dual attacking there, see? And then we end up cutting. Even though our opponent has 100% combat readiness now, we end up cutting because of all the extra gains we've been getting. And now we can push up our entire team by 25% combat readiness. And this is going to be huge. It should allow our Eligos to cut. Oh, okay, maybe not. If he doesn't cut, it's perfectly fine. Right, because again, we have this 70% damage share that's going on, and he actually didn't hit us out of the stealth, which is good. He's going to go after Lady of the Scales anyway, just because she has the lowest percentage of health on my team, and look at that. Even though we're relatively squishy on Lady of the Scales, Elvira has this immortality now. So let's go on into the, let's hit the Abyssal Euphine, because why not? She will be going next anyway. Let's just go ahead and debuff her here. If we can decrease her defense, there we go, we will greatly diminish the amount that she'll be able to do to us, because she's a defense scaling unit. Afternoon Soak Flan's S1, look at this. Eligos still alive, is still doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit the Abyssal Euphine there. Look at this. Afternoon Soak Flan combos really well with the Eligos. Eligos finishes off the opponent's Flan. We do miss, which is okay. And look at that. Lady of the Scale still alive somehow. Let's go for, she's going to be going down relatively soon here. Let's go for the Flan. There we go. And we're getting some extra chip damage there, right? Yeah, so Lady of the Scales just end up going to go down, but that's okay. We still have these buffs, by the way. Keep in mind, these will still stay up. So even though Lady of the Scales is gone, we don't really need her at this point. We've already gotten enough done here with her, right? She set up all the buffs for the team, and she already cleansed, she already pushed up everybody. She only really then has a S1 that gives us fear, right? Or gives the opponent fear. But because we have stealth units and evasion units on the other side, she's not going to be too good into these situations anyway. So at this point, it is just Elvira, 3 turns of immortality, alright? Essentially guaranteeing that she won't die before she gets a chance to S3, which is great. And if you end up using Elvira before you end up, ooh, actually, let's go for this. Go for the S1. Aw, shoot, okay, didn't manage to finish her off there. But what I was saying is, if you get your Elvira's S3 off first, the extra immortality from the Lady of the Scales actually would not proc until after your initial immortality runs out, which actually means that you can pair Lady of the Scales with some pretty cheesy units. I'd say you can probably even use her with Shooting Star Arcades, right? The Dark Arcades that puts immortality on a unit as well. So that can be something really cheeky that we can test out in a bit. Now, of course, you can't test immortality units with Lady of the Scales without going for the Queen of Immortality herself here, BBK, right? Bloodblade Corinne has been destroying the meta since, you know, when she got buffed, right? To have this EE that gives her immortality upon receiving lethal damage. She already starts the match with immortality too, which is fantastic, but I'm bringing this Effect Res BBK in, and she's going to be at the front line soaking up all the damage for everybody, which is going to be fantastic. Lady of the Scales has remained unchanged, but we're also going to bring in Aram because my opponent's opening with Harsetti, so why not? We're going to have immunity on top of the immortality. We won't eat any debuffs, hopefully, and we will be able to heal ourselves up as well, right? The Shimadra staff here actually able to increase effect res of everyone on the team, but also help to heal the BBK up to essentially max health anytime she attacks. On top of that, we're also bringing a Lionheart Sirmia who's on Lifesteal. She's going to be on Durandal, which helps with the combat readiness gains, and she will have this 50% damage reduction whenever she suffers an extra attack, counterattack, or dual attack. The damage reduction does stack with the damage share, so essentially the extra attacks and stuff are going to do basically nothing. Hopefully, though, the BBK is essentially going to soak up all the damage from my opponent's Rinok and the Cascade debuff that's going to be applied to our team from the Dragon King Sharoon. And so you are able to go for these more risky picks, especially on offensive teams like this in Arena and Guild Wars, and you don't really have to worry too much. In RTA, there are certain units that ignore damage share and stuff they have to watch out for, but look at this. Look at this. This BBK is essentially down to 0 HP now, and we just have to go ahead and smack our opponents, right? This is kind of crazy, actually. BBK is just going to soak up all the damage for the team, and there's no repercussions for this. We have so much resistance, nothing can get stripped. We might as well just push up, right? So the reason why Rinok didn't go first is because Harsetti is on the team, so Harsetti went first, and then everything else is speed RNG after that. I could, at this moment in time, just kind of push up the entire team here. Right, might as well. And I could even just go for a BBK S3. Aram could try to push up the Lionheart Sirmia, but I don't know if I really want to do that. I might just hold off and just let BBK like S3 again, so let's go ahead and do that. The Harsetti is going to allow the Harsetti is going to allow us to proc the Lionheart anyway. So let's go for the Soul Burn on the BBK. We have a Vigor buff. Look at that damage, guys. You're just going to essentially get a free max damage S3, right? Because your HP is so low. You gain more damage anytime you have lower health with her passive here, right? As HP decreases, attack, defense, and speed increase, and at the start of the battle, you have the immortality and all that good stuff. So, yeah, look at that. We essentially just finished off our entire opponent's team, and BBK's second immortality, her EE, hasn't even been procced yet. So that's just kind of ridiculous, right? Lady of the Scales also gives another layer of immortality. And look at the healing. Look at the healing. We won't even need a second immortality at this rate because we're just not eating enough damage for that. Alright, let's go for this. Second immortality get procced here. Look at this. Right? We get BBK down. She will get procced here, I'm pretty sure. Boom, look at that. Another immortality. And there you have it. We'll push up the BBK and just let her kind of finish things off here. Aram doesn't have enough damage to finish off the Harsetti. But it's kind of ridiculous, right? With this type of team, you can just steamroll Arena so easily, and just resetting the BBK to deal max damage over and over and over again. It is almost on the level, honestly, of like Ahmed and Straze, like together, but this is more of a defensive team, right? You don't no longer need to outspeed your opponent, you just kind of wait your turn. It's ridiculous. So I mentioned previously that you could use Shooting Star Arcades into this type of team, but then I thought, well, one, I don't have Shooting Star Arcades built. Pretty sure you can make a 5-star version work in this like type of arena content, but I decided, you know what, why not go for Sinful Angelica? She's someone I have laying around, and she essentially does the same exact thing. Now, if you don't know, with Sinful Angelica, she is able to give herself immortality for 2 turns, and this skill cooldown's a 4-turn cooldown, right? After she uses it, it's a 3-turn cooldown. So if you're running Prophetic Candlestick in this procs, you get to reduce the cooldowns and just essentially spam your S3 and keep infinite immortality up. Now, the problem with this is that sometimes it's a little bit RNG, and you sometimes struggle because of that, right? Lady of the Scales kind of invalidates that struggle with the RNG, and you just, even if you don't manage to keep your immortality up 100% of the time, Lady of the Scales will give you that immortality to kind of give you another turn before you turn cycle back into your S3. Now, with Sinful Angelica, she's able to dual attack. It's one of the advantages of using her over Shooting Star Arcades. I'm going to bring in the one, the only, Charles, my favorite character in the game, right? So we're going to be using him, just a meme character, right? He's decent after his buffs, but obviously not something meta changer game breaking. And I'm going to bring in Archdemon as well, mostly because she also allows me to dual attack. Same thing with Sinful Angelica. The seals are going to be kind of nice here, and there's no Bellion on the other side, so I will be able to seal my opponent, which is kind of good, which is why I'm bringing her on book. So Charles here is going to be doing most of the heavy lifting with the damage against my opponent, and my opponent's rocking this really tanky, slow team, right? Boss of Runka, Harsetti, Fallen Cecilia, Imperial Ilanov. So I can't penetrate defense, I can't go first, I can't use splash damage. This arena team has been around for a very, very long time. At least, well, lately, at the very least. Right, ever since the Boss of Runka was released, this type of disgusting team has been floating around quite a bit. Now, what we're gonna do here is essentially just use this Sinful Angelica to tank our opponents, right? Let's go for the S3, let's kind of push up our entire team, and honestly, at this point, do I really even want to use a Soul Burn on the Archdemon? Maybe not, maybe we'll use it on the Charles, who knows? We'll go for the Soul Burn on Charles, first of all. I think we'll be able to cycle around and gain enough souls that we can use it on Archdemon too. There we go. And look at that. So we will still be able to get debuffed and stuff on Charles, which is okay. My opponents are mostly going to be attacking my other teammates here, namely like Sinful Angelica and such, but Charles is able to do a lot of dual attacking, which is the main reason I'm bringing him along. So when we bring him along, he's going to dual attack with his S1. Because he has 3 buffs, it's going to go straight to an S2. It's going to be pretty decent. Now, hopefully, this is not an effectiveness Fallen Cecilia. There we go. Oh, wait, hang on. It does look like it was some sort of a effectiveness Cecilia. It's okay. We'll go for an S1 here to get rid of all the skill nulls. We did get a fear. We have 0 effectiveness, by the way, but that's okay. And all the people attacking Sinful Angelica hopefully allows our Sinful Angelica to proc that Prophetic Candlestick. But look at this. We're just going to keep going in onto our opponents here, and this is really just a showcase to see if we have a battle of attrition, how it can play out. Against a really tanky defense team like this, can I bring in just a random subpar DPS, kind of like Charles, and still manage to win, right? That's the main question here. So, the seal on the Boss of Runka is going to be great. We're hopefully going to be able to turn cycle her so that she loses this buff, right? The steadfast buff or whatever she has that allows us to only attack her. Sinful Angelica, though, we should be able to go ahead and dual attack. Unfortunately, Archdemon right now has the attack buff. Charles got stripped of his, so that's kind of unfortunate. But it's okay. let's go for the S. Ooh, okay, actually, this is good. It's a good thing we Soulburn the Charles, that way we actually have a chance to get the S3 up on the next turn. Thankfully, he's still procced here, pushing up our combat readiness, and the Abundance buff actually putting in a lot of work. Right, the Abundance buff was allowing us to deal an extra 2,000 damage to everyone. Ooh, look at that, guys. Look at all that. It's beautiful damage, right? It's amazing. Okay, so let's go for... We don't need a seal, because he's already sealed. Just hit her one more time. Nice dual attack with the Charles. Beautiful. And we will do a lot of damage here. Charles coming in for the extra attack. Beautiful stuff. And Charles is able to heal himself too, which is really nice. Prophetic Candlestick procced over there. So now you can see Sinful Angelica has her S3, right? So she's going to keep this infinite immortality going, which is wonderful. Let's go for the S1 here with Lady of the Scales. She has a little bit of healing for the team, but doesn't really matter all too much, because again, Sinful Angelica is able to survive. Everyone on my team has a bit of resistance besides the Archdemon. So let's go for... Now we can hit anybody we want, honestly. On the other team, let's go ahead and... Ooh. Let's go ahead and finish off the Empyrean Ilanov before she... I'm going to seal her, just in case, right? I'm going to do this, just in case she gets to take the turn. I really don't want that to happen, because then she can cleanse the team of all their defense breaks and such. Okay, so Harsetti hitting us, it's all good. And the other great thing is, when your opponent is running dark units, they're all going to hit Lady of the Scales, and not your other DPSs. And if you run like a dark unit like Sinful Angelica here, all their light units are going to be attacking her, right? Because of how the AI works. So you essentially get a free pass on like what DPS units you want to bring into these types of teams. I will not Soulburn this. I think it's useful to just keep the Soulburn for my other units. Right, let's go for the S3. This should finish off most of... Yeah, there we go. Pretty much everybody there. And honestly, I'm just going to go for an S3 here, just to push up. Because I don't think an S1 can finish off my opponent. I don't have enough damage. There we go. Now we'll be able to S1 and dual attack, and there you have it. So in a war of attrition, in a longer fight, the one with the immortality wins, is even over the tanky, bruisery, bulky teams that have traditionally defined our arena defenses. So let's go ahead and jump into another match here. We got a pretty canon setup, right? We got Briarwitch of Assyria in the front lines, and she also has immortality as a passive that procs when she takes lethal damage. So she essentially gets double immortality with Lady of the Scales on the field. What we're gonna do with Briarwitch Assyria is Soulburn her so she ignores res, and she's able to put this decreased defense and unable to be buffed on our opponent. It's gonna be really, really nice, and it'll set up perfectly for our Sylvan Sage Vivian to come in and essentially cleave our entire opponent's team, right? So this is essentially what we're going to be looking for here, the setup. I actually did switch her over from Chatty over to Tagahel's Ancient Book because we are playing a little bit more aggressively, and I do have New Moon Luna as well. She's going to be really nice for bringing Book and potentially sealing our opponents as well. That's going to be really nice to prevent the Yufine from counterattacking and prevent the Ilanov and the Valsarunka from being able to push up their combat readiness. Even if they do, though, not a huge issue, because Lady of the Scales, you know, just gets to push up her combat readiness alongside them. Now, I don't know how fast this Tenebria is going to be, but if she is relatively speedy, which she isn't, then it would have been pretty good for us. Now, at this point here, because we're faster, we can actually just make use of that speed and kind of just cleave our opponents, I'm pretty sure. So if I get 25% combat readiness here, we should be able to push up in front of Witch of the Mirror Tenebria. So let's just go ahead and set up for all of our skills. Let's go for the Soulburn on the S3, Lady of the Scales, to be able to push ourselves up, the entire team up by 25% combat readiness, right? So let's go for that. Doesn't matter if Briarwitch takes damage here. I could have honestly run Briarwitch on Renewed Will. I think that's the artifact that I could have used her on, but it's okay. It's essentially just more combat readiness pushes, but all good. Let's go ahead and Soulburn this, and none of my opponents can push up their combat readiness because we sealed them. Yeah, Lady of the Scales is a huge enabler. Honestly, if I had just 10 more souls here, I probably could have Soulburned this and then just S1'd into everybody, and it would have been so much damage. But let me just go ahead and do an S3 because it's the only AoE I have at the moment. If I could redo this, I'd probably put Lady of the Scales on I'd probably put Lady of the Scales on the artifact that gives me like souls at the start of the match, right? I think that probably would have been the better way to go about it, but it's okay because our, the reason we bring in Silver Sage Vivian is because she's also immune to all these debuffs that are floating around. Now we have extra souls here, we should be good. This Empyrean Ilanov is going to cleanse and stuff, but honestly, I think we're fine. By the way, this damage share is so crazy that Sylvan Sage Vivian, even when she's hit by these attacks, like Abyssal Euphene's S1, it doesn't register enough damage to even take away a stack of focus, right? So that's amazing. Let's just go for an S1 here, and we should have a second immortality that's available to us. Empyrean Ilanov cleansing is not a huge issue. Everyone essentially turn cycled out of their defense break anyway, right, for the most part. Well, at least Tenebria did, but yeah, we'll be able to come in here and try to finish off our opponent with this. So, ooh, Briarwitch actually does go down here. That's perfectly fine. Now my opponent is unable to really do anything. Let's go for an S1. There we go, easy peasy. And let's go for the Soulburn. So we'll be able to attack twice because we have 5 focus stacks, and the Abundance will actually be able to proc as well. So let's go for this. Huge damage output. This should finish off the Abyssal Euphene. Yeah, there you guys have it. So look at that. Honestly, if I planned this a little bit better and I put the artifact that gives souls to the Lady of the Scales, it would have worked out much better. Soul Constellation wouldn't have been good here anyway. So if you're trying to go for aggressive cleave style team, then you definitely want to be using either Frida's artifact or even running like Brigitte's artifact, right? Bird's Eye View for those souls to Soulburn. We have one more match for you guys, and of course, I can't finish this video off without showing you revenge damage, right? So, Yolha will be able to nuke your opponent just like Crow would with his S3. You'll penetrate their defense, and you deal damage based on your lost HP, right? That's what this does. Now, the main thing is, Yolha has an S2 passive that allows you to reflect 40% of the damage that you take back to the attacker. This is going to be very, very strong against our opponents like Afternoon Soaked Flan, for example, when they dual attack into Yolha and such. I don't think they will. They'll probably dual attack into Lady of the Scales, but even then, Yolha will take a ton of damage, go super low on HP, and then we can rip her S3. And her S3 here allows her to reset skill cooldowns when defeating an enemy with her S3, right? Which is great. It means we can keep spamming the S3 onto every other unit. So once we finish off the Flan, we'll be able to go after everybody else. And with 32k health, if you're missing almost all of that and you're down to 1 HP, you're going to be nuking for a ton of damage. She's on Holy Sacrifice just in case she does happen to go down. I don't think she will. And she is actually rocking Protection and HP set, which will help us out in terms of giving everybody a barrier, keeping everybody alive, right? We're also running Mediator Calric here, so let me pull up his stats. He's currently on a speed build with a broken set piece. We're running him on a Warhorn. The reason I'm bringing him here is because he has an attack buff for the team. It will help Yolha's damage a little bit, but we're also bringing in Roy Mustang, so that's the main reason for that. We also have an S2 that penetrates the opponent's defense, so hopefully we can soften somebody up before Yolha comes in and finishes them off, because again, if she finishes them off, we can fully reset our cooldowns. And Calric's just going to be great for the immunity and the turn cycling for the entire team. And then last but not least, we do have our Roy Mustang. Roy's our boy here. He's running Chatty, and he's on Lifesteal and Torrent. He's going to deal quite a bit of damage to the opponents, and he has extra hit chance as well due to his passive, which we can see right here. The Flame Alchemist, right, giving him 20% extra hit chance and attack, so hopefully we'll be good in that regard. But yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and see what happens. So let's do it, and again, I hope that things go according to plan. If not, then, well, whoopsie, but hopefully we can finish things off on a strong note here. Harsetti coming in with the S3. The good thing about Protection set is if this is an injury Harsetti, you do get to prevent yourself from getting hit by the injury damage. Now, thankfully, it just seems like we absorbed everything from the opponent here. And look at that, Yolha's already down so low on her health. What we can do is go for an S3. I don't think our opponent has anything that really bothers us here in terms of, debuffs. I think FCC has a cleanse, or sorry, she throws back debuffs, but she doesn't really do any herself. And then Lone Wolf Pyrrha will defense break, but honestly, not such a big deal. Let's go ahead and provoke the Harsetti, so she'll attack into us. And then, at this point, I'm just going to go for an S3 here, so we don't get defense broken by the Lone Wolf Pyrrha. It's even better. There you go. So Roy can now come in. I'm gonna start attacking this this Flan. We're going to be missing on her, right? It's okay. We just want to soften her up, get rid of the barrier and everything, so that when Yoha comes in for her S3, we should be able to one-shot her. But let's see here. He's going to dual attack, going to go for Lady of Scales, kind of to be expected. But yeah, look at that damage onto Yoha. Watch this. Watch this, guys. This Flan has 10k health. Boom, boom, boom. She took 5k health and damage there just from attacking the Yoha, which is beautiful. Now, unfortunately, the opponent's Marsetti did manage to get cleansed there from the Lone Wolf Para, so we'll put Fear on her. FCC gonna S3, not gonna matter all too much here. Maybe he'll strip some of our buffs. There we go. Yoha's still fine. That's why you want a little bit of effect res so that these units with no effect effectiveness cannot do anything to you, right? Let's go for an S2 here. Actually, they have skill null. Let's go for the S1. Let's just break the skill null. Should be fine. Right, Roy is able to come in here as well. So the S1 damage, look at that. You saw the absorb there, right? Pretty good. It means that we were reflecting some of the damage back at my opponent. Alright, beautiful stuff. I'm still gonna keep dual attacking. Oof, disgusting. But it's okay. Let's go for the Afternoon Soak Flan. Once we take her out, honestly, it should be easy pickings. At this point, let's go for... I could go for an S1 and Soulburn this and break everyone's skill nulls. I think ooh, do I want to do that? No, no, no. I think I'd much rather just... I think I'd much rather have my... I'm gonna go for the S1. I'd rather have my opponent, or I'd rather, sorry, have the Yoha Soulburn into the Flan here. Lady of the Scales will go down just like before in like the second match that we showcased here. It's fine. She kind of did her job already, and now it's really just up to Yoha to finish things off here. Let's go for the Soulburn S3. It's incredible how when Lady of the Scales goes down, like none of these buffs and things go away. And look at that, 26k damage on a miss, guys. That's ridiculous. Let's go for an S2 onto the Para. Do as much damage as possible here. Roy now gets his S3. We're going to get the attack buff. Let's throw out the S3. Unfortunately, we did not hit the Para, I don't think. Yeah, we missed on Para. Everyone else's skill nulls are broken, though. And Yoha has her S3 basically reset. We're going to be able to come in again and finish off our opponent once more. So... because there's no Afternoon Soak Flan, we're in a really good position now. Look at this, Yoha getting pushed up. She'll take the turn. You can just Soulburn this again if you really want to. I don't think we're going to need it. Let's just finish off the Para here, regain some health. And now this is essentially turned into a little like mini Yoha showcase. This is incredible. Look at that, 12k healing onto the Yoha, still reflecting damage. Still taking all the damage from the entire team, right? From this offering. So it's getting dangerous now. Yoha is about to fall, but even if she does go down, we're still in a really good position because she does have Holy Sacrifice on her. Let's go for... I don't think anything's gonna change here. Let's go for an S. It doesn't matter. We're gonna go for an S1. Let's push up the Yoha. Yoha's gonna go down here to the Fallen Cecilia. Oh, actually, or not. Okay then. That's perfectly fine by me. Let's go. Let's go. Soulburn that S3 once more, deal more damage, heal more health. Beautiful stuff. And then we'll just finish off the Fallen Cecilia with the Roy and the Mediator Cowrick. So there you guys have it. Lady of the Scales paired with these damage nuking revenge units like Yoha and Crow. Definitely a fun way to end things off. But with that being said though, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Lady of the Scales in the comment section down below. Are there any pairings of units that I didn't quite get to showcase here? Let me know, because I definitely want to try them out in the future. And until next time, take care.